Yes, sir. Now I can see all the panelists, sir.
Oh,
Sir,
good.
yes.
So, good morning, Mr. Arnav.
Uh, yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Uh, I see this is your second attempt Union Public Service Civil Service Examination.
Sir, this would be my third attempt, sir. In the last
Okay.
attempt also, I have qualified the civil services and have been allotted DANIPS as the service. And this time also I am appearing.
Which service do you belong to?
Sir, DANIPS, Delhi Andaman Nicobar Island Police
Okay,
Services.
Danex. Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
So, where are you posted now?
Sir, right now the training of the DANIPS service has not started. So the joining hasn't come right now. So as and when the joining will come, I will be.
Okay, okay, good. Very good. So, you come from Raebareli
Yes, sir, I do.
and you have done your IIT from Jodhpur.
Yes, sir.
I find very interesting subject you have opted for is biologically inspired system science.
Yes, sir.
Biologically inspired system science. So it's
Yes,
very
sir.
interesting and perhaps quite new to me. Would you
Yes,
like
sir.
to explain what does it mean?
Yes, sir. Sir, biologically inspired system science engineering was firstly introduced in IIT Jodhpur itself, and I was the first batch of it. So, sir, the branch is basically a fusion of engineering as well as biology. So, it is an interdisciplinary branch where we tend to inspire designs from the day-to-day biology around us and tend to construct or make the engineering products. For example, sir, the artificial intelligence has been inspired from human cognition. And earlier also, we have been inspiring basic designs. For example, we have inspired an aeroplane from a bird. So similar way, sir, this branch has specializes in that dimension.
No, no, good examples. Can you give you any specific use, say in the medical science or in the biological science or pathological science or something like that?
Yes, sir. Sir, multiple artificial joints and multiple artificial organs that are being created along with other developments in the field. For example, for disabled people, hip joints and other artificial developments are being done in this field. And along with that, sir, multiple robots that have been inspired from the design of the day-to-day biological insects or plants around us. For example, sir, and a tree design of a tree inspires solar trees in our understanding. So, sir, these are the practical applications of the branch.
Okay.
But
Why you call it a new subject?
To
To my mind, it comes
to
as a very old
use of,
use of,
say,
say, biophysics, biotechnology, something like that. And now you can say biosystems. So, is there any something new which is there
in
in
terms of
terms of
innovation,
innovation, in terms of new
from
from
scientific
scientific
research?
research?
Sir, pardon me, but the voice is slightly echoing.
Okay.
You couldn't
You can
understand.
understand?
Yes, sir. Right now it is also echoing a bit. So can you pardon me, please repeat?
I repeat my question if it's okay with you.
you.
Earlier they used to call it biophysics,
Yes,
biotechnology.
yes,
Now
Now
you
you
are
are
using the
using the
word
word
biosystems.
biosystems.
So how do
How
you
do you
distinguish
distinguish
between
between
biotechnology and
biotechnology and
biosystems?
biosystems?
How
How
big
big
scientific
scientific
jump is
jump is
there?
there?
sir. As the society progresses and as the science progresses, certain kind of specializations appear. For instance, sir, initially we had mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and very specific core branches. But later on, specialization in computer science as a branch came. Then it devolved into IT and other branches. Similarly, sir, biotechnology is a very broad subset. It's a very broad set. So, sir, biologically inspired system science is a specialized subset of biotechnology, which specifically focus on this part of the specialization of designing engineering systems from biology.
Okay. So it's a subset of your, according to you, it's a subset of biotechnology,
Yes,
if I
sir.
understand correctly from you.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, is there any corporate use of this subject which you opted for, corporate in the corporate world?
Yes, sir. Corporate also, sir. Recently, we have seen in times of Corona that the vaccines that have been developed are very much inspired from the immune system that our body has, the acquired as well as the innate immunity. So, sir, the development of vaccines and along with that, sir, the medicines that we develop in the modern times, artificial medicines. So, sir, these are very much inspired from these designs.
I couldn't catch the word artificial medicine.
Sir, for example, we inspired, for example, in the present times in Corona, sir, viral vector vaccines and all those type of vaccines. So, sir, they practically were inspired from the immune system of the body. So, these type of vaccinations and medicine development or pharmacogenomics, as we say, is a specialization. For example, per person, sir, everybody's body is different. So according to that, the pharmacy and the medicine development is a kind of development that is modern in modern times coming up.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to your other area. That's you hail from Raebareli. What is the historical importance of Raebareli apart from the recent political importance? I want to know from you the historical importance of the city or area.
Sir, Raebareli had been earlier is known as a town of poets apart from the political history. So from the earlier times, from the medieval times, Malik Muhammad Jayasi was from yes, he was from Raebareli as a district. And then, sir, later on during the freedom struggle, 1857, Rana Beni Madhav Singh was a freedom fighter from Raebareli itself. And other historical events during national movements, for example, All India Kisan Sabha movements had been held here. There is a National War Memorial Smarak as well in Raebareli, where an incident very similar to Sir Jallianwala Bagh incident happened here. And sir, during the civil disobedience,
let us stop here. What is the specialty of Malik Muhammad Jayasi, of his poetry, his poems, of his poetry? Why is it called Jayasi?
Sir, Jayasi.
Hmm.
Sir, Jayasi, up to my knowledge, sir, has been inspired from the name of the place he belonged to. So there's a tehsil known as Jayas in Raebareli. So he has come from there. So the name is inspired from Jayasi. Jayas. And sir, regarding his poetry,
what is
sir,
this tradition of people? What is there any tradition of people are being known difference to their place of birth, place
yes,
of
sir.
living?
Yes, sir.
Is
This
there
kind
tradition
of tradition
in any literatures, other literatures, or literary pursuits?
yes, sir.
Do you
There
know
has
any?
been.
You know other poets who are using the name of the place of birth, or any other poet you know? Remember,
Sir,
who used the place of birth?
yes, sir. Sir, the one of the Muslim reformers, Sayyid Ahmad Raebarelvi, was from Raebareli, and he used the name of the place in his name as well. Barelvi is the part which he got inspired from the place itself. Similarly, sir, in modern times also people do inspire their name. For example, Poonawalas are there from the Pune part of Maharashtra. So in this way, sir, the name inspires the name of people.
Okay. So Malik Muhammad Jaisi's poetry, what is so specific about him? Why is known for? What is he known for?
Sir, in the recent times, sir, one of his poetry work, that is Padmavat, has came to light after the filmmaking. And sir, I
Yes.
have gone through
Not only
the
filmmaking, much earlier. Sorry. Filmmaking was something different. Padmavat is a very big, renowned literary piece.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
continue.
Sir, I have read some excerpts of Padmavat. I have not read it fully, but I have found that the language that he uses is very lucid, and it is in the dialectical form, that is Awadhi. And then, sir, the emotions that he conveys through that language are very beautifully conveyed. So whether it be sad or happiness, they are very beautifully conveyed. So that is my
Is
uptake,
it
sir.
is
And
it based on a real story, or is it something which he has uh, his own intellectual exercise or his own imagination? Is it based on some historical facts?
sir, it seems to be inspired from some of the historical facts, but the exact correctness of all that poetry has not been found till date. But yes, it has been inspired from some of the figures that have existed in the historical background of India. So I would say not exactly, but yes, it has some inspiration from that.
Okay. You use the word Avadi. This is an Avadi.
Yes, sir.
How Avadi, and if I say Malik Muhammad Jaisi was a poet of Hindi, so how will you distinguish Avadi and Hindi?
Sir, Hindi is basically, as we say, is Khadi Boli, which is inspired from the areas of Delhi and nearby, where we just cleanly mention the words with the akshars of Hindi. But in Awadhi, sir, the dialect changes and the way of speaking changes. So the way of expression changes to a very milder form, which is more prevalent in the eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. So it is one of the dialects of Khadi
Avadi,
Boli.
if you go beyond Raebareli, it becomes Bhojpuri. How will you
Yes.
distinguish Awadhi and Bhojpuri and then come to Agra and say Western UP where you say Khadi Boli, Hindi is being spoken. Bhojpuri, Awadhi, and then you come, as you say, this part of Western UP.
Yes, sir.
What is the
Sir,
distinction between these languages?
sir, the exact distinction between Khadi Boli and Awadhi is somewhat known to me, but not Bhojpuri because I have not uh, been speaking Bhojpuri, so I am unable to answer that, sir. I will read about it.
Okay, thank you. I hand over to my colleague, the Jayaprakash, will talk to you.
Good morning, Arnav.
Good morning, sir.
You have mentioned that we have won some prize on occasion of Hindi Divas.
Yes, sir.
So, and your knowledge of Hindi is quite impressive. Can you tell me when Hindi Divas is celebrated and why on that date only?
Yes, sir. Sir, Hindi Divas is celebrated on 14th of September of every year, and it has been celebrated since 1946 and 47, where when the Constituent Assembly accepted Hindi as one of the official language, and it was decided that we will continue Hindi as the official language with the English numericals. So, sir, from that day onwards, we have been celebrating the event.
Okay, fine. Can you tell me who is your favorite poet in Hindi?
Sir, multiple poets I have read, which I can get inspiration from, like Ramdhari Singh Dinkar and Ayodhya Singh Upadhyay, who is known as Hariod. So multiple poets I could cite, sir.
Why you like Ramnath Singh Dinkar?
Pardon me, sir, I wasn't able to
Why
hear.
do you like Ramdhari Singh Dinkar? What in his poetry inspires you?
Sir, Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, sir, right now, since past some time, I have not read his poetry, but what my mind is coming right now is the name of Ayodhya Singh Upadhyay, Hariod's poem. So he had written Karm Yog, a poetry. So that is a very inspirational poem because it inspires
Okay,
us to
fine.
work hard.
Okay, fine. Now tell me, seeing your biodata, I can observe that you have keen interest in music.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me another IITian like you who was a big figure in indie pop, Indian
Sir,
pop music?
Sir, I'm unable to right now come up with, but I will look for it, sir.
Baba Sagar.
Sir, still unable to. I have maybe not seen his works, but I will definitely see.
Okay. So can you tell me your favorite song, pop
Sir,
song,
right
Indian
now,
pop song?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Lucky Ali is one of the indie pop's favorite songs, singer of mine. So right now I have been practicing Bekarar. There is a song Bekarar from Lucky Ali. So I have been practicing that on singing as well as my guitar. So yes, I had been preparing that song.
What is difference between a normal guitar and an electrical guitar?
The normal guitar, as we say, we have broadly three classifications. So there is an acoustic guitar, there is the electric guitar, and there is the bass guitar. So, sir, the acoustic guitar is more of a acoustic instruments, whereas there is no electrical plugging, or it is used in a small congregation of people, 5, 6, 10. But electric guitar is more of played on the stages where it is electrically plugged, and there is lot of modulation
fine.
and lot.
You are a science student. So can you tell me what is acoustics? What is
Sir,
acoustics?
sir, acoustics basically is the reverberation of sound that we hear, and how the sound is modulated and created. So when we play a string of the guitar, there is an acoustic chamber behind that. So the sound reverberates and creates the effect.
What does a person mean when he says that the cinema hall is acoustically designed?
Sir,
What
that
does he
means that,
mean when he says, yeah?
sir, acoustic designing for a cinema hall is very much needed as well, because it's a large hall, and if it's not acoustically properly designed, then there is a lot of reverberation and lot of echoes. So the hearing is a lot of impaired. So that is what a properly designed acoustic hall is, sir. A sound room.
You have studied biologically inspired system sciences, but your
Yes, sir.
optional paper is sociology.
Yes, sir.
So what did make you get interested in sociology as optional subject?
Sir, multiple reasons I could cite, sir. Initially, when I was in the college, sir, I had been involved in the social cell of IIT Jodhpur. So I had been working in the social department. Along with that, sir, in my third and fourth year, I have taken sociology and the
Who is father
subjects.
of sociology? Who is considered to be supposed to be father of sociology?
Sir, Auguste Comte is said as father of sociology, whereas Emile Durkheim is said as the father of modern sociology, and G.S. Ghurye for Indian sociology is considered as the father.
What is difference between the views of Andre Bete?
Sir, pardon me, sir, your voice didn't came to me, sir. Sir, I think, sir, your microphone is muted because I'm not able to hear. Sir, am I audible, sir? Okay, sir, but uh, sir, your voice is not coming to me. Yes, now, sir, it's
No, no. Yeah. I wanted to ask you,
yes.
what is difference between the views of Andre Bete and Ghurye regarding the Indian caste system?
Sir, Indian caste system, both the sociologists have viewed, but G.S. Ghurye is an Indological perspective. So he just mentions how the caste system came into being and what are its historical background. So he gave multiple characteristics of the caste. He gave 5 or 6 characteristics in which the caste evolved. But Sir Andre Bete was an reflective sociologist. So he more of delved upon how the caste is changing. So he delved upon how the nexus of caste, class, and power in the modern time is changing, and how caste old is transitioning towards caste new forms
How
of
do you
changes.
how do you critically evaluate the uh, uh, corpus of the knowledge which was provided by Ambedkar on caste? He have also elaborately written on caste. So how you will be critically appraise it, critically evaluate it? How relevant it is,
Sir,
considering the recent researches?
yes, sir. Sir, Dr. Ambedkar's views upon caste were that the caste has been deeply imbibed in the Hindu system of philosophy, and for the caste to end, sir, the annihilation of caste is very much necessary so that an egalitarian society is formed. So, sir, in the modern times, we are seeing that caste in certain ways have diminished.
Recently, our honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Kumar Modi ji, mentioned the caste in the Islam, in the Muslim society. What is your view? Do you think it is an integral part of Islam or just influence of the Hinduism?
Sir,
As a
Islam as
sociologist. Yeah.
yes, sir. Sir, if we see the historical underpinnings of Islam, then the religion is towards equality of all the people. It believes in the equality of all people. But the Islam, after existing in India for a long time, sir, it has been inspired to some extent with the Hinduism, and the caste system had percolated from the Hindu philosophy to the Islamic faith as well. So the people who did convert in the medieval times as well as the modern times, so that type of caste system has percolated into them. But in ideal way, sir, Islam doesn't have any caste system prevalent.
Okay, thank you, Arnav. Now, Jhan sir I will.
Hello, Arnav. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, what's the meaning of Arnav? Let's start with it.
Sir, Arnav basically means ocean, and it is also a name of Lord Vishnu. So,
Okay. I'll bring your attention towards your DAF.
yes.
Now, if you look at the 18th B, where you missed to fill the roll number in of 2019 CSE examination.
Yes, sir.
Is it that?
No, sir, I didn't miss, but I was not able to find my application of that year because it was very
Okay.
old and
But
I
that will be
was
considered as some error from your side. You should, keep some history.
Yes, sir. Pardon me, sir, for that, sir. It was
Yeah, there is
in the
one
form.
philosopher. There was one philosopher, Indian philosopher, who talked about that Indian lacks sense of history.
Uh, Sir, yes, it had been a view. The Western philosophers have been having the view that the Indian history had been constructed in
No,
a
the
very
Bankim Chandra Chatterjee talked about that Indians are lacking history.
yes, sir. I would say to certain extent, sir, his views was right because we have constructed history in more of a philosophical form, in more of a religious form. But we had been having the sense of history. Our Veds, our Upanishads, our religious, all the books that we have, sir, they are very much reflective of our history. So all the Purans that we have, they construct basically the Indian history and how the mythology and the kingships have worked in India. So we have been developing, sir, the sense of history as well.
So I was referring to your, missing of roll number. That's only. Another thing I can see in your DAF, that if you look at, the second DAF where you have allocated the zones, order of preferences for a states cadre within zone, right? Your first prefer is zone 2, right?
Yes.
Within one zone 2, first preferences you have given to Uttar Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
second is Jharkhand, third is Bihar at one place. But at the second place, you have put first preferences Uttar Pradesh, second as a Bihar, third as a Jharkhand.
Yes, sir.
That is
In-
also a kind of, error, is it?
No, sir. It was a conscious decision that I have felt that, sir,
Okay.
because I have discussed with some of my seniors as well as my colleagues who were in service. So they said that if I get inspiration from that and how the working conditions in both the states are, so both the states are very good to work as well. But if given the choice, sir, for the administrative services, I have filled the Jharkhand, whereas for the police services, I have filled Bihar.
So why is it so? As a IS, you can stay in Jharkhand. As a police, you're willing to stay in Bihar. Why is it so?
Sir, if given the opportunity, sir, I would be more than happy to serve in any of the states. But, sir, with elongated discussions and up to my thinking, because in Bihar, sir, certain challenges do exist. I'm not saying that they can't be overcome, but, sir, since there was a choice given, so and after contemplating, I just filled that choices.
Sorry, sir, if you can hear me, you are making like general statement. Say you say Bihar has some villages. What villages? Say 1, 2, 3. Jharkhand has some villages from this number. Say 1, 2, 3. So be specific. It's okay to discuss with your seniors and your colleagues, but after all, you made up your own mind, and we want to know your mind and the reason for coming to that conclusion. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So,
How can I reply to my colleague?
He's giving suggestion that be specific and give particular reasons why you have opted this.
okay.
Right?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay,
Now,
sir. So, sir,
yeah.
should I?
Now tell me, what is a shadow cabinet?
Sir, shadow cabinet is a system that has been prevalent in United Kingdom, where there is a government, elected government, as well as, sir, the opposition party works as a shadow cabinet, because the opposition party has its own nominated kind of a position for prime minister, as
What are
well
the
as
new initiative government has taken to, to promote tourism in Andaman and Nicobar?
Sir, Dekho Apna Desh is one of the initiative that is coming to my mind, and sir, Prasad is one of the schemes that is coming up. So others, I would have to definitely look
India
forward to.
holding G20 summit, chairing G20 summit in the, 2023. What are the challenges before India, by assimilating the Western world and the Eastern world?
Yes, sir. Sir, presently, both the parts, as we say, Western and the Eastern, so, sir, they are on the loggerheads because of the crisis in Ukraine. So, India will be having a challenge to bring upon same platform the leaders from Russia as well as from the Western world, whether it be Ukraine or any of the G7 members. So, sir, that would be the foremost challenge. And along with that, sir, China has been in loggerheads with India and with the Western world as well. So, bringing all those multiple partners on the same table would be a challenge, because as we have observed the earlier G20 meeting in Indonesia, sir, the Russian president did not join. So these
So
will be
would India be, to keep the, to solve the challenges that the global South is facing today? In the wake of COVID-19, the Ukraine crisis, and the, the economic slowdown at international level.
Sir, in the modern times, sir, India has emerged as the leader of the South world, and it has been representing all its challenges at the global fora and has been giving solutions. So yes, sir, at the present point of time, there are challenges, but India is trying its best. And in the present G20 summit as well, India will be representing the concerns of the South, whether it be environmental, whether it be food security or energy security. So India will be representing and will be upholding those.
What's your view on collegium system? Should it be reformed? If yes, then how?
The collegium system definitely had been existing in India, and in my opinion, sir, yes, some reforms are needed, because as the transparency and accountability of the collegium system is further needed. The government has tried to bring the reform in the form of NJAC, which in my opinion, sir, was a step in the right direction, but not exactly rightly oriented, because some changes in itself are also needed in NJAC are also needed. So some kind of the changes in collegium system are needed. For example, sir, a commission could be designed wherein there is equal representation of judiciary as well as some representation of the executive, that is the government, so that we can get an amicable solution and a transparent judiciary.
If you look at the, appointment of election commission, it was done very hurriedly in the recent, the recent appointment.
Yes,
Should
sir.
it be, that a separate collegium system should be, arranged in order to appoint election commission?
Yes, sir. In my opinion, sir, a kind of sir, collegium could be created for election commission as well, because since election commission is one of the original bodies which conducts the election, and there's a lot of trust interested in the body. So if the question regarding the transparency of appointment and accountability are being raised, then some kind of a mechanism could be developed which enhances that accountability and transparency part.
Okay, that's great, Arnav. Now, Dr. Anshul Gupta will take up.
Sir, I'm unable to.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You told about UP Kisan Sabha.
Yes.
Have you heard? UP Kisan Sabha and Abad Kisan Sabha. There were two Kisan Sabhas in your regions. Can you tell me about both the Kisan Sabhas?
Sir,
Uttar
UP
Pradesh
Kisan
and
Sabha.
Abad. Mhm.
Sir, in my mind, what I am vaguely remembering the historical part, sir. The UP Kisan Sabha had been established in 1915, whereas the All India Kisan Sabha or the Awadh Kisan Sabha by Swami Sahajanand had been established later on in 1935.
Swami Sajanand, he was from Awadh region.
No, sir. He belonged to the south, but he have migrated
No,
towards the north.
not south. He belonged to Bihar. Bihar
I'm sorry,
Provincial
sir.
Kisan Sabha.
Pardon me,
South,
sir.
NG Ranga from south. Andhra Pradesh Kisan
Yes, sir.
Sabha.
Pardon me, sir.
And Uttar Pradesh Kisan Sabha was formed in 1917. And
Yes.
after that, it was bifurcated into Awadh Kisan Sabha and Uttar Pradesh Kisan Sabha on the question of non-professional movement. Anyway, so can you tell me some figures, some personalities of the Uttar Pradesh Kisan Sabha? Who founded this Kisan Sabha?
Sir, I'm unable to remember the exact.
Have you heard the
person.
name of
I will read about
Baba
it, sir.
Ramchandra? Baba Ramchandra.
Yes, sir. I have heard his name, Baba Ramchandra. He was from Raebareli district himself, and he was one of the members of All India in
Awadh
that
Kisan
Kisan
Sabha,
Sabha.
Uttar Pradesh
Yes.
Kisan Sabha.
Yes.
Originally, he was not from Raebareli district. He was from Maharashtra, but he settled there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Have you heard the name of Ram Rajya Parishad, a political party from your region, near to Awadh region, Pratapgarh, Raebareli district? Ram Rajya Parishad.
Pardon me, sir. I have not heard, but I will read about it.
Yes, you should read, because this political
Yes, sir.
party won 3 seats in first Lok Sabha election and challenged the authority of the monopoly of the Congress. So I think you heard about Baba Karpatri Ji Maharaj, very famous personality. Karpatri.
No, sir. Not coming to my mind, but I have to read, sir.
Okay. Lucknow session, you should hear. I think Lucknow session of the Congress 1916.
Yes, sir. Lucknow session.
Is there any political significance of this session, Lucknow session?
Sir, sir, Lucknow session in 1916, sir, there was a
Who was the
unification.
chairman of
between the
Congress at that time? Who was the chairman? Who was the president of Congress?
Sir, I'm unable to come with the fact right now, sir,
Okay.
not the name, but I remember the significance.
Okay. Any significant, historical significance? Can I say that
Yes.
it laid the foundation of the Pakistan?
Sir, not exactly, but yes, separate electorate for the that All India Muslim League had been proposing had been accepted in the Lucknow session or the Lucknow
No,
Pact.
it had already accepted in parliamentary reform.
Sir, it was formally accepted when both the factions of Congress, that is the radicals and the moderates, had united in the Lucknow Pact. So there they formally accepted that Muslim League's demand. Pardon me, sir. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Your optional subject is sociology.
Yes, sir.
Get to know the religion, how this institution evolved.
Yes, sir. Different studies have been done upon the evolution of religion. So, from the perspective of Emile Durkheim, sir, when he studied the religion evolution in Aboriginal, that is the Arunta tribes of Australia. So, some find a form of totemism, that is collective conscience, have evolved in those tribes, which later on developed into the modern forms of established religion. For example, Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, some kind of faith and collective consciousness.
In your opinion, how and for what religious institutions were evolved?
Sir, in my
Is there any-
opinion, sir,
Yes, continue.
sir, in my opinion, sir, religion would have been existing since the time immemorial, because at the earlier times, it's also, as in the present times, many questions that the human mind can conceptualize, sir, are not answered. And to keep that questions and to keep humanity at a safe place and to keep themselves calm and composed, sir, they have to evolve some form or the other philosophically strong, which can guide the humanity towards positivism. So in that form, sir, religion has evolved in some way or the other in every part of the world.
Okay. Can you differentiate between Varna system and caste system? Varna system.
Yes, sir.
Varna system. Yes.
Sir, Varn system is a very broad categorization of the
In Indian
people.
context, yes.
In Indian context, sir, Varn system is a very broad categorization which divides the people into 4 Varns, that is the Brahman, Kshatriya, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. Whereas, sir, the caste system.
When it was divided?
Sir, it was divided in the later Vedic period. Sir, it was
Later or
not the
Rig Vedic
exact.
period? Later Vedic period or Rig Vedic period?
Sir, in the Rig Veda, Purush Sukta exactly doesn't
Yes,
mention the
yes.
four forms in the hierarchical manner. It was later
Mhm.
on developed as a hierarchy because Rig Veda mentions only three forms of it. But the modern forms of Varna evolved in the later Vedic, and caste system was further specialization of the work profile, which we have seen all over the country, but it is different in each part of the country.
Okay, from where the concept of untouchability came to existence, how it was evolved, untouchability.
Sir, there have been different theories upon how untouchability has evolved. For example, sir, Dr. Ambedkar has a different theory of broken men, where some of the people who did not accept the social norms of the present society were outcasted from the society. And sir, the historical facts also cite that during the modern times, also untouchability in some form had been existing. So some people who were forced to do the manual labor and the cleansing part, basically, they were uh, away from this, kept away from the societal intermixing. And later on in the Gupta period, historical facts have suggested that the number of these people increased very much. They were also mentioned in the Veds, Purans.
Okay. Now I pass.
Hi Arnav, good morning.
Morning,
And
sir.
you come from Uttar Pradesh. So, in context of Uttar Pradesh, what is sugarcane politics?
Sir, sugarcane and the pricing of it and how to get the better prices for the farmers had been one of the political planks that have been utilized by the parties. So there's a fair and remunerative prices that the central government announces, FRP, and there is an SAP that the state government announces. So for enhancing that SAP and how to provide better conditions to the farmers, better prices, sir, the politics around that happens in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, would you like to throw some picture on the historical evolution of this politics and some farm leaders from Uttar Pradesh who have used it for their agenda for betterment of farmers?
Sir, to my mind, the name of Chaudhry Charan Singh, who had also been the Prime Minister of India, his name is coming because he took the issues of farmers in Uttar Pradesh as well as in the nearby areas and in India, and took that issues to the national level and brought that to the mainstream.
Okay, have you heard about Mahinder Singh Tiket?
Yes, sir, I have heard his name also.
Okay, fine. What are the issues with this sugarcane industry? I mean, how come it can be used in a better way? Because we are producing a lot of sugar, but there is also biofuel policy and the use of glycol and spirits. So, what are the issues over there, and how it can be used for betterment of this sector?
Yes, sir. So if we divide the problems that the sugarcane sector is facing into two, firstly, sir, the farmers. So, sir, the cost of taking the because sugarcane is a weight losing crop, productivity losing crop. So, sir, taking the crop to the mills and getting the fair prices, that is one of the challenges because the mills are located at far places. So so this is a challenge on the farmer side, along with the quality of the soil and the water tables had been declining. So that is also reducing the profits of the farmers. So on the side of the sugarcane mills, sir, proper quality of sugarcane is not being available, and there's a seasonality of availability of sugarcane as well. And along with that, sir, the government has also enforced the policies where the mills have to give certain prices which are not very much feasible for the mills to execute. So multiple governments have been making efforts toward amendment.
Okay, okay. So you have been rhythm guitarist, I see. And who is your favorite guitarist?
Sir, if in Indian context we say, then Ehsan Noorani is one of the guitarists. Sir, then there is a band called Agni. So there's Mohan.
Okay. So have you heard about BB King, guitarist BB King, and David Gilmour?
Not very much, sir, but I will have to see.
Okay, you should know David Gilmour is big time famous, and so is BB King, known as the King of Blues, right? And last thing, you have heard about Bose speakers and sound equipments, right? Any Indian connection to the founder of that company?
Sir, right now I'm unable to come up with, but
Okay.
definitely there will be.
The name of the person is Amar Bose. Go and search for it. Okay. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is all from my side. Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear myself? Can
Yes,
you hear
sir.
me? Okay.
Uh,
So we had a nice talking to you, and my colleagues and will tell you their own feedback.
Sir, is the interview over?
I will. Yes, it
No,
is over.
no, sir, I need to ask you question.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody else is there. Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, Arnav, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am, you are clearly audible.
Okay. Arnav, I need to ask you a few questions with respect to your optional, right?
Yes.
So can you just tell me what sociology orients you towards, what you have learned from sociology, and in a very brief?
Ma'am, sociology has helped me to better understand the society, because even though we have been seeing all those social phenomena around us, but their understanding was very limited to the
So can you
commonsensical
explain,
understanding.
yes, so can you explain me that better understanding in one sociological concept? What is the term which is being used in sociology for that?
Sir, ma'am, perspective is the term, because we analyze the different perspective of the same topic with different viewpoints of the sociologists. So that,
I mean, it's not only perspective, it's a critical perspective, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you have said about Emile Durkheim's towards understanding of religion, where you spoke about totem, right? You said that
Yes.
totem is a belief system, but you tell me that how actually he has defined evolution of religion in elementary forms of religious life. What is the one point with respect to collective consciousness he spoke in terms of religion?
Ma'am, in elementary form of religious life, that was his work. He basically focused upon the beliefs and the practices that occur in any form of the religion. So there are some positives and some negative orientation towards the religious objects for any
Well,
totem.
if you have to put in order, so that is your mental consciousness, right? Beliefs and that rituals, and then from that we get community, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you quickly explain me that how classical sociologist is different from contemporary sociologist? What are their take to understand society from sociological perspective?
And classical sociologists, as we say, have been towards functionalist side, because as we started, whether it positivistic side.
Not all classical functionalists were towards functionalism approach. We have conflict perspective too. We have symbolic interactionism perspective too, who is just not speaking about functional approach of society, right?
Yes.
I just want to know that classical thinkers try to think, you must be knowing this, you have already written your means. Try to understand that try to explain me in this manner that Karl Marx or Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, what these three classically sociological legendary is talking about to understand 18th, 19th century society in Europe, in which perspective, and tell me the common element which three of them were focusing by having different perspective. For instance, Durkheim is saying that this is a functionality. Karl Marx is talking about conflict, whereas Weber is talking about that how particular cult or particular belief system led to the origin of capitalism, let's just say religion. So what are the three, what are the one common element between these three as classical sociologists?
Ma'am, all these sociologists have been analyzing social systems on a broader scale, and ma'am, they have been analyzing a society which was transitioning from a feudal stage towards an industrialized capitalist
System
state.
they are analyzing, right? But then in social system, what particular variable they were looking at? If I'll use your research methods, sociological research methods, so what is that one variable these three philosophers, classical thinkers, were looking at? And tell me in a sociological context. Sorry?
Ma'am, positivism is the way that they all opted. So
no, that is a method. I'm talking about a variable. What is a variable by which these three thinkers were talking about and led to the emergence of sociology in the 18th, 19th century? Why? What is that element? Quickly tell me. Think of it.
I am unable to exactly
No,
come
you
to
are
the point.
so you know that, but I'm just trying to tell you that okay, so it's a social order, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So social order got ruined. It got challenged in 18th, 19th century due to industrialization, right?
Yes.
So far, classical thinkers were positive towards positivism, towards the impact and contribution of science, right? So this was a basic orientation of classical sociologists. So what is contemporary sociologists nowadays are talking about? I mean, so earlier classical thinkers, sociologists, they were tilted towards the positive outcome of science because there was a Renaissance phase, there was a, like, you know, you can say Renaissance phase and then Enlightenment phase. So at that point of time, it was established as a fact that if we have to analyze a society, it has to be scientific perspective, right? So now at this stage in 21st century, when the classical contemporary sociologists, they are trying to analyze society, so what is their variable again? What is the one common variable?
Ma'am, the methodology is non-positivism, which is focused upon
I'm
the
talking about
individualistic
contemporary,
perspectives.
Arnav. Arnav, I'm asking you that contemporary sociologists, what they are looking at society in today's term.
Ma'am, the social changes that are occurring in the modern times, I am unable to, ma'am, come to the exact terms, but I will think about it, ma'am. I will think about it.
Okay. So it's like they are trying to understand because we all were positive towards the challenges, towards the positivity of science, but now still we are at the state of war. But still, science is not bringing peace, as you have said, that towards humanity. So social order is still challenged. It is still ruining in everyday war and in everyday, conflict we can see. So even we are not at good place, which we have thought of that science is going to bring peace and prosperity. It's going to bring, that stuff. So that is one point I would say. So quickly, I'll ask one more question with respect to just one last question. Okay, just want to understand that how you can relate understanding of sociology to understand vulnerable sections not of like in Indian context, but in throughout the world. The vulnerable section which we have, how sociology can help you to uplift them.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, if we say the vulnerable sections globally, then there would be, first of all, ma'am, the gender bias that has been happening, whether it be with women or whether it be with transgenders. Then other biases that exist in society, whether it be with disabled people that are differently abled, and ma'am, the tribal people that had been existing. Then there had been racial differences that had been existing globally. So, ma'am, all these kind of challenges that we see presently, ma'am, sociology as a subject helps in better understanding of those differences and how and why they occur, so that these bridges could be, the differences could be bridged, and an egalitarian and equality-based society can be constructed.
So do you think that egalitarian or equality society can exist ever?
Yes, ma'am. Even though it's a long drawn idea that every other social group would be existing at in the egalitarian form exactly, but definitely we can work towards the empowerment and emancipation of the.
Okay.
At this point of time,
All
may I
right.
may I say
Okay. Thank you.
we have a good discussion with Mr. Arnav, and our friends on the panel have talked to you at length. So my input to you, Mr. Arnav, is that I am quite happy with your performance. I wish you all the best. But I would like to suggest certain areas where you can further improve yourself, subject to my colleagues giving you more feedback from their side. One of the things which I observe is that you are making general statements and you are avoiding specifics. General statements are good and they are correct also, but that gives an impression that you have not gone into the specifics of the issue and you are generally tech movement, though I am generally satisfied with your performance and
Sir,
happy with that.
sir, interview is over, sir.
Yes, interview is over. We are
Okay,
giving
sir,
you feedback.
Okay, sir. I'll just pick up a piece of paper. I will just.
Paper. I note it down.
Yes, sir.
So the areas where you can further improve, according to me, is that in most of your replies, or some of your replies, in fact, most of your replies, you are making general statements in your reply. You are not coming to specifics. For example, about Jharkhand and Bihar, about the options which you asked. You said, my colleagues have said, they have said, I have said, but you are not giving a specific reasons. A specific point, I hinted to you also. Same is about the collegium. Toward the end, you mentioned that it should be both from the judiciary as well as executive put together, joined together and decide. But there's a whole debate on the issue, and there have been argument on either side, and that perhaps you have not touched upon. The second point, which I hurriedly I'm saying because the other colleagues are there, we can talk to you also, that in many areas you say I don't know, I have to find out, I have to find out. So it's okay, but in not many cases. So areas which my colleagues have asked question about sociology, library, Kisan movement, etc. I think you have to improve yourself, your knowledge. You have to brush up your knowledge.